Hey y'all, so today your girl wanted to stop by today and talk about alopecia and self-esteem. As you know, your girl has been kind of exploring that topic over the last few weeks as an alopecia girl, and I really wanted to just dig into this topic, to talk about some misconceptions and to talk about, some ways to cope as well. But before I get started, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So, as you know, or if you don't know, I have alopecia. Listen, today I'm wearing my cute turban because I ain't feel like doing nothing, to my head to, doctor it up. And I don't always, wear a wig. If you've been watching my channel, I'm pretty new to wigs. But, for the most part, you may catch me in this throughout the week. But I have alopecia. I have CCCA. So I have centrifugal alopecia. I've had it since my early 20s. And, over the last few years, probably within the last 2 years, I've really, just been navigating it. I've come to terms with it. It is what it is. Here I am, alopecia loud, alopecia proud, woohoo, But when I think about, my journey in self-esteem, and what I've seen alopecia do, to other self-esteem is definitely something that I think that's important that we talk about. So let's talk about self-esteem, right? What is self-esteem? Self-esteem is the way that you view yourself, your overall perception of yourself, thoughts, opinions, ideas. That's what self-esteem is. You thinking about yourself. As you know, something like alopecia can really put a damper on a person's self-esteem. I think things that are more so that you can actually see on a person, that those things may, hit your self-esteem just a bit harder. I remember, when I went natural, and this was like 10 years ago, so I stopped getting relaxers. Alopecia was not a thing for me at that time. And I cut my hair like really short, kind of like a baby fro, a TWA, a teeny weeny afro. But I was a teacher at the time. And girl, I was like, babe, I cannot walk in that classroom like this. Like, self-esteem is not quite ready for that. I ain't trying to be on the news squaring up one of y'all kids, okay? When they be done called me something, right? Talk about my hair and whatnot. And my bestie actually put braids in my hair that day. But, think about, going into a job, heck, going to the mall, going out to get the mail, and you are, experiencing alopecia or any type of hair loss. That could definitely put a damper on one's self-esteem. I also think about, the journey, within alopecia. Like I talk about, previous to alopecia, I always had long hair. I always had thick hair. I, did not really wear weave. I could probably count on my hand, the number of times that I wore weave, growing up. And, when you think about, something that you used to have and the loss, that comes with that, yeah, it creates some issues, with self-esteem. I think for me and my journey, when I think about when I first started noticing the hair loss, and then when I think about, making the decision to cut my hair, when I was ready to cut my hair, like I was at a point where I was tired and I was just ready to cut it off. But getting up until that point, you do battle with, oh my gosh, like this is really happening to me. How am I going to navigate that? It may be hard to look in the mirror. You may find yourself trying to cover it up, more and more and more, and not wanting to look at it. Yeah, I get it. And, all those things compacted, could really just put stress on a person, as well as, you don't feel as pretty, right? You don't feel as confident, and that's just, the ugly side, to alopecia that, you really don't know unless you've, been in this seat before. Of course, like you can, make your, assumptions, and things of that nature, but it's different, when you actually, are navigating through this. Some common challenges, and struggles that a person may go through, when it comes to self esteem and alopecia, like I said, it's not feeling, beautiful. Also, maybe you feel a sense of grief, oh my gosh, like my hair is gone. Sometimes we think about grief, as in just with a person, that has passed away, but it could be any kind of loss. You also may, not want to, go out, to places that you would typically go. You may find yourself being more reclusive. I think one thing that's pretty common as well as, a lot of times, what I have seen is that, well, I already got alopecia, so it don't matter what else I do to my head, so doing styles that would further exasperate that, just to, maybe kind of remind you of that old appearance, things of that nature. But I think it's important, that as we're talking about self esteem, to think about the things that you do have. Y'all always hear me say, listen, I just lost my hair, baby. I ain't lost my brain. I ain't lost my common sense either. Okay. So I still, have all of the things that I want to have, all of the things that I need. I ain't ugly, okay? But yeah, I don't have, hair in certain, spots on my scalp. And when I think about that in relation to, everything else, it's like, okay, it's not like I'm in love with it, but it is what it is. I can get through it, I can navigate it, So I think for me with self esteem, I like to think about the things that I do have, I like to think about the things that I am good at, the areas that I do shine, that I am beautiful, that I feel beautiful in, because even without hair, I'm still beautiful, you're still beautiful. If you're watching this, I wouldn't associate beauty. I know in our culture we associate beauty with long, thick hair. But girl, I'm past that because I ain't really meeting, what I got going on right now. So, you redefining, what that beauty is for you. So drop them in the comments and let me know if you're an alopecia girl or a guy, what other parts of you are beautiful. So let's talk about some coping mechanisms, y'all. How can you cope with alopecia? How can you cope with the fact that your self-esteem is not where it needs to be, right? When it comes to alopecia, or that it's just been, negatively impacted by it. I think the first thing is acknowledging that, right? Like, let's just keep it real. Yeah, hair loss is going to affect a person's self-esteem. It's natural, right? So, you don't have to ignore that fact, address that. Maybe you say to yourself, listen, I ain't feeling, 100% today because my hair is looking a mess, right? That's what this feeling is, right? It's important to acknowledge that and not ignore it. But also with that, think about, what's something that I can do to make myself feel good in this moment. When you look good, you feel good. So is it that I'm just going to put on a cute scarf? You already know my go-tos. I don't have them on today, but lashes, gloss. I got my gloss on, and big earrings, okay? So make sure you have your alopecia starter kit. That is our alopecia starter kit always, okay? When you look good, you feel good. So what is your alopecia starter kit? Write that down. Get those items. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money. Go right to the hair store. Go to Walmart, Target, just get those things for yourself. I think that's so important. Also, keep your circle, supportive. Who can you lean on? And I know that alopecia can be, very isolating, but hey, who can you lean on that, maybe they don't have alopecia, but they can give you an encouraging word. Stop by the channel, girl. Let's, engage with one another, to give us, just some encouraging words for us out there who are just in this journey of our lives. Listen, if you want to know more about my alopecia journey, click this playlist here. And thank y'all so much for, continuing to interact with my alopecia content. I greatly appreciate it. All my alopecia girls and guys out there, we got this. We gonna get through this, okay? Bye.